Hello, grade 9 students. Today we're going to discuss a new topic which is all about trapezoids and kites. So we will be discussing about isosceles trapezoids, the properties of isosceles trapezoids, trapezoid mid-segment theorem, and we will also be discussing all about kites and the properties of kites. So let's first have a review about our past lesson. Regarding the different special parallelograms. So these are the rhombus, rectangle, and square. So number one, LMNO is a rhombus. Find X. So let us try to recall the different properties of rhombus. All the sides are equal, opposite angles are equal, consecutive angles are supplementary, diagonals bisect each other, and diagonals diagonals are perpendicular to each other. So in this case, what is X? So here, 3x plus 12 is the measure of angle LOM, and the measure of angle MON is 5x minus 2. So I think they are equal because this diagonal bisects the angle LOM. So 3x plus 12 is equal to 5x minus 2, or 5x minus 2 equals 3x plus 12. Then we have 2x equals 14, so 7. I think x is 7. Yun, tama. Diba? Another, LMNO is a rhombus, find y. Yeah. So, sabi ko lang kanina, the diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular, so meaning to say angle LPM is equal to 90 degrees. So we're going to equate 8y minus 6 to 90 degrees. 8y minus 6 equals 90. It becomes 8y equals 96. 96 divided by 8. Yeah. That's the answer. 96 divided by 8. 12. Y is equal to 12. This time is square. QRST is a square. Find N if measure of angle TQR is equal to 8N plus 8. Angle TQR is equal to 8N plus 8. That means it is equal to 90 degrees. Diba? Because all the angles of a square are equal to 90 degrees. So we have 8N plus 8 equals 90. So we have 90 minus 8. 82. 82 divided by 8. Ayan. 10.25. 82 divided by 8 is 10.25. Or 41 divided by 4. Next, QR is this square. Find W if QR is 5W plus 4 and RS is 2 times quantity pole W minus 7. We all know that in a square all the sides are equal, so we are going to equate 5W plus 4 to 2 times quantity pole W minus 7. So RS becomes 8W minus 14 equals 5W plus 4. 8W minus 5, 3W, tapos 14, 4 plus 14, 18. 18 divided by 3, 6. Oh, tama, 6. Still on square, Q or ST is a square. Point QU. If QS is 16T minus 14 and QU is 60 plus 11. So in a square, actually all kinds of parallelograms, rectangle, rhombus, diagonals bisect each other, di ba? It is a rectangle. So since QS is 16T minus 14, tapos QU 60 plus 11, so ano yan? Form ka ng equation, QU plus US is equal to QS. And from that, you can be able to solve for the length of QU. Waiting is the answer. 16T minus 14 is equal to 2 times 60 plus 11. Siguro pwede gano'n. So, 80 minus 7. 80 minus 7 equals 60 plus 11. 80 minus 62t. Tapos 11 plus 7. 18 divided by 2. 9. So pag 9 yung t, 9 times 6, 54 plus 11, 65. Diba? 65 is the measure of QU. Which statement is true about the figure shown, whether it is a square or a rhombus? A. Km is perpendicular to JL. B. Km is parallel to JL. JM is parallel to LM. And JL is perpendicular to LM. So answer A is the correct answer. Km is perpendicular to JL. Yes, the diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular. Addition. So in this topic, we're going to apply methods to solve problems. Yes, and make sense of problems and persevere in solving them. Reason abstractly and quantitatively. Last time, we learned how to use the properties of special parallelograms. So now, we'll learn how to apply the properties of trapezoids and kites. New vocabulary: trapezoid, bases, legs of the trapezoid, base angles. There's also the trapezoid, mid-segment of the trapezoid, and kite. Let us have here some theorems on isosceles trapezoid. So when we say isosceles trapezoid, it is a trapezoid in which the legs are equal or congruent. So theorem, theorem 6.21, if a trapezoid is isosceles, then each pair of base angles is congruent. Okay. Example, trapezoid FGHJ is isosceles, then angle G is congruent to angle H, and angle F is congruent to angle J. Sabi diyan, pag isosceles trapezoid, pair of base angles is congruent. Each pair, yes. Next, another. Another 6.22 theorem, if a trapezoid has one pair of congruent base angles, then it is an isosceles trapezoid. Example, if angle L is congruent to angle M, then trapezoid KLMP is isosceles. Trapezoid is isosceles if and only if its diagonals are congruent. Trapezoid QRS3, if trapezoid QRST is isosceles, then segment QS congruent to segment RT. Likewise, QS congruent to RT, then trapezoid QRST is isosceles. So, sa isosceles trapezoid daw, each pair of base angles is congruent, tapos the diagonals also are congruent. Okay, proof of theorem 6.23. Trapezoid is isosceles if and only if its diagonals are congruent. So given ABCD is an isosceles trapezoid, prove that AC is congruent to segment BD. So ABCD is an isosceles trapezoid given. Then DC is congruent to DC or CD. DC is congruent to CD, reflexive property. AD is congruent to segment BC, definition of isosceles trapezoid, that means the legs are congruent. Angle ADC is congruent to angle BCD. Base angles of trapezoid are congruent. Then triangle ADC is congruent to triangle BCD by SAS, side angle side theorem. Therefore, AC is congruent to BD. Congruent parts of congruent triangles are congruent. That's a proof for theorem 6.23 that diagonals of trapezoid are congruent. Real world example. Use says, okay, we have here a basket. Each side of the basket shown is an isosceles trapezoid. If angle JML is 130, KN is 6.7 feet, and LN is 3.6 feet, find the measure of angle MJK. So this is a solution. Since JK and LM is trapezoid, therefore the bases are parallel. JK is parallel to LM. And then by consecutive interior angles theorem, measure of angle JML plus measure of angle MJK is equal to 180 degrees. That's from the previous. Measure of angle JML is 130 degrees. So substitute natin dito. Plus measure of angle MJK is 180 degrees. 180 minus 130 is 50 degrees. Subtract 130 from each. Therefore, the measure of angle MJK is 50 degrees. Another. Each side of the basket shown is an isosceles trapezoid. If measure of angle JML here is 130, KN is 6.7 feet, JL is 10.3 feet, find MN. Here, that's the length of MN. Subtract mo lang yan. Since JKL is isosceles diagonals, JKL are congruent. Congruent yung mga dalawang diagonals, no? But KM is KN plus MN. And by substitution, JL is 10.3, KN is 6.7. From that, you can be able to solve for MN. 10.3 minus 6.7 is 3.6. Therefore, MN is 3.6. That's the answer. Now, each side of the basket shown is an isosceles trapezoid. The measure of angle FGH is 124, FI is 9.8 feet, and IG is 4.3 feet. Find the measure of angle EFG. EFG. That's the answer. Answer is 56 degrees. Next, find the measure of IH. Since FI is 9.8, yes, so wait. FI is 9.8, EG is 14.1 feet, find IH. Yun lang, minus mo, 14.1 minus 9.8. Kasi diagonals of isosceles trapezoid are congruent. Now, we have here a trapezoid in the Cartesian plane. Quadrilateral ABCD as vertices 5, 1, negative 3, negative 1, C, negative 2, 3, D, 2, 4. Show that ABCD is a trapezoid and determine whether it's an isosceles trapezoid. So to show that this quadrilateral is trapezoid, we need to know that the upper base and the lower base are parallel. How? Their slope should be equal. And also determine it's an isosceles trapezoid. Alright, segment BC is congruent to segment DA. Dapat equal by using the distance formula. So what's slope of AB? 1/4. Slope of CD? Okay, it's also 1/4. So since they have the same slope, that means they are parallel. Slope of AD, negative 1, slope of BC, 4. So they are not equal. That means the legs are not parallel. There's only one pair of parallel sides, the upper base and the lower base. So we've proven that it is a trapezoid. Now to prove that it's an isosceles trapezoid, dapat the legs are congruent. So exactly one pair of opposite sides are parallel, AB and CD. So ABCD is a trapezoid. Now to show that the trapezoid is an isosceles, okay, with the distance formula. What's the length of segment AD? Is square root of 18. How about BC? That's square root of, oh no, they are not equal. So that means it is not an isosceles trapezoid. So since the legs are not congruent, ABCD is not an isosceles trapezoid. Okay. Determine. Okay, we have here quadrilateral QRST. You can sketch this in your Cartesian plane. Blocking paper. Q -1 0 R 22 S 50 and T -1 -4. Determine whether it is a trapezoid, and if so, whether it's an isosceles trapezoid. So dapat the upper base and the lower base are parallel. So they should have the equal slopes. So the answer is yes, they have equal slopes of trapezoid siya. Now to determine if it's an isosceles, the leg should be equal by using the distance formula, not isosceles. Another theorem on trapezoid, we have the trapezoid mid-segment theorem. The mid-segment of a trapezoid is parallel to each base and its measure is one-half the sum of the lengths of the bases. If segment BE is the mid-segment of trapezoid ACDF, then AF is parallel to BE, CD is parallel to BE, and the length of BE, which is the mid-segment or otherwise known as the midline, is equal to one-half AF plus CD. So if B is the midpoint of AC and E is the midpoint of FD, then connecting the midpoints of AC and FD, BE is what we call a midline or mid-segment. And its length is, you just add the length of AF and the length of CD divided by 2. Example, if AF is 5, CD is 6, AF is 5, CD is 7, so just add lang, 5 plus 7, 12, divided by 2, 6. So for BE is equal to 6 units. Now in the figure, MN is the mid-segment of the trapezoid FGJK. What is the value of X? By applying the mid-segment theorem of trapezoid, 30 is equal to 1/2 20 plus X. So we have 60 minus 20 lang yan. Excuse me. Multiply mo to lang to, yung 30, 60, that was minus 20. 60 minus 20 is 40. So X is equal to 40. Diba? 30 is equal to 1/2 times quantity 20 plus X. Multiply both sides by 2, magiging 60 equals 20 plus X. 60 minus 20 is 40. So X is equal to 40. X, WXYZ is an isosceles trapezoid with median JK. Median or midline or mid-segment. Pareho lang. So JK is mid-segment or midline. Find XY if JK is 18. 18 ito, tapos WZ is 25. So ganun din, 18 times 2, 36 minus 25. Okay. D. Yeah, times 2 mo lang yung 18 minus 25, 11. Okay, we're now through with the trapezoids. The different properties of trapezoid. Now we proceed to kites. So theorem 6.25. If a quadrilateral is a kite, then its diagonals are perpendicular. So sa kite, just like the rhombus, just like the square, its diagonals are perpendicular. So we have here a kite, ABCD, and the diagonals AC and BD, they are perpendicular. AC is perpendicular. Now, if 6.26 theorem, if a quadrilateral is a kite, then exactly one pair of opposites angles are congruent. So we have here a kite, JKLM. JK is congruent to KL. Katabi yung congruent, unlike sa parallelogram, opposite sides are congruent. Pero sa kite, yung magkatabi ang equal. So JK is congruent to KL, JM is congruent to ML. Ayan. So pag ganyan, angle J is congruent to angle L. And angle K is not congruent to angle L. So bago dito, sa kite ABCD, angle B is congruent to angle B. Okay. If WXYZ is a kite, find the measure of angle XYZ. Here. Ito. Ayan. What's the measure of angle Y? Bali yung Z, 121 din yan. Plus angle X and angle Z are congruent by theorem 6.26. So, pero yung W and Y are not equal. So, 121 plus 121 to 42 plus 73. Minus mo ngayon sa 360 kasi quadrilateral pa yan. The sum of the angles of a quadrilateral is equal to 360. So, 242 minus 73. So, the answer is 169 degrees. Is it correct? Oh, wait. sorry. Yes, tama pala. 360. Hindi yung nagpigot ko. 360 minus 242 minus 73. Yun, 45 degrees. 45 is the measure of angle X, Y, Z. Now, if MNPQ is a kite, find NP. NP. So, diba sabi natin kanina, diagonals of kite are perpendicular. So, that means right triangle ito, MNR. So, 18 yan. Angle NRP is also 90 degrees. So, 18 yan. Ano lang, Pythagorean theorem. 6 squared plus 8 squared. Okay, 36 plus 64, 100. Square root of 110. NP is 10. Diba? Pythagorean theorem tayo. NP is 10. Or MN is 10. So, if MN is 10, NP is also equal to 10. Okay. Now, another. If BCD is a kite, find the measure of angle CDE. Parang ganun din. Angle E is also 130 degrees. Equal yan. Angle C and angle E are congruent. So, what's the measure of angle D? 360 minus 130 times 2, 260. Minus 260. Minus 64. So, 36 yung angle D. Or angle CDE. 36 degrees. Diba? JKLM is a kite, find KL. Gano'n naman, Pythagorean theorem na naman. Because the diagonals are congruent, 90 degrees ito. Angle J, okay, whatever the point is. Pag O yan, KOJ is right angle. So, 3 squared plus 4 squared, 16 square root of 16 is 5. So, JK is 5, KL is also 5. Pythagorean theorem na. So, that ends our discussion on different properties of trapezoids and kite. I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.